Hey guys, hey everyone, welcome. I'm Tia from Tia Reacts, and today is a very cool day because I'm going to be interviewing Kevin Chambers here, who I know from Pluribus now very recently from the pilot episode. He's done a bunch of other stuff besides Pluribus, Better Call Saul, The Cleaning Lady, Just the Janitor, and then Anton's Uncle, which was a play that you traveled with to UK,
Mhm.
which is very cool. And then you're also a stunt performer and martial artist, which is extremely cool. So, welcome, Kevin. Thank you so much for doing this. How are you doing?
I'm doing really good. Thank you for having me on board. Yeah, it's pretty cool. A lot of people don't bring up Anton's Uncles too much because that's more theater.
Yeah,
Um, but that was a great play that I did a tour when I was in college.
yeah.
It's Anton's Uncles, which was written by Anton Chekhov based off of Uncle Vanya.
Oh,
And
cool.
so yeah, it was just this really great um physical movement piece that really hit upon all of the things that could be missed with Anton Chekhov's comedy. And so
Right.
he was really, our instructors and our director was so great at being able to hit all of those comedic moments. So we went to the Fringe Festival first in Edinburgh, Scotland, and then we
That's
went and
so
did our
cool.
UK tour, and we were traveling all over the place. So it was great times.
Is that normal for like a college play to go on a tour like that? Yeah,
No,
to me that sounds like, whoa, like where did that come from? That's so cool.
yeah. Yeah, we started off with the local festivals, with the KCACTF festivals.
Okay.
And in the States, that is all like the preliminary rounds. And if you do well, then you can be accepted to go to the Kennedy Center and perform at the Kennedy Center. And so we did that. We performed at the Kennedy Center, and that was phenomenal. And that is what gave us more recognition to go, hey, let's go to the world's largest theater competition, which is the Edinburgh Fringe Festival.
Yeah,
So then we had a nice success run with that, and we just kept it moving. It was lovely.
that's so cool. Yeah, I'm a big theater nerd too, so I was like, I
Oh,
definitely want to
nice.
mention that. Um, okay, can we go to the beginning first?
Sure.
The very basic question of how how are you here? How did you become a performer? Where did it all start?
Honestly, I mean, well, I'm adopted from South Korea, from Busan, South Korea, at three
Okay.
months. So I'm American as they can be.
Yes.
And apparently, when I was doing research for my trying to find my biological parents, I was a part of a documentary called Am I Really Asian or Am I Really Korean? One of the two.
Okay.
And looking for our parents, and I discovered that one of the things that they told me when I was a child, as a baby, the only thing that would calm me down was watching movies or TV shows. And what was
Whoa.
really interesting is my supposedly father is a well-known and famous director in South Korea, which I'm like, hmm. And so as a child growing up, I would literally copy all of my favorite movies and TV shows. And my cousins actually hated watching me and babysitting me because I would literally be bouncing off of the walls.
Yeah.
So I would copy Predator and all the Rocky franchise and the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And it's like I knew all their lines, I knew all their blocking, I knew all the fight choreography. I would really get into each of these different characters because I just had so much fun using my imagination. Because I was so hyperactive and I had all of this energy, my
Yeah.
parents got me into martial arts, and that's what started off my martial art career at 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah,
And
that's young.
there, yeah, I just continued to be disciplined. I won first in the state of Michigan because that's where I was adopted for in karate for first in the state of Michigan for forms, first in the state of Michigan for fighting, and second in the state for weapons. And
Oh,
when I turned 16, I looked back at my transcripts in high school and I was like, well, what is one thing that I'd love to do for the rest of my life? And I always noticed that I had acting, introduction to acting as a elective if I couldn't get into the classes that I wanted to get into. And
right.
from there, I was like, hmm. So when I was going into my senior year, I took dual enrollment, which is you can take college classes while you're still in high school. And so I was taking a 2 hour class at the local Grand Rapids community college of taking acting classes with them. And the moment I did
Right.
that, it's like immediately fell in love with it.
Yeah. Were you right away, like, if you had done martial arts since you were a kid, when you fell in love with acting, that you're like, I want to combine these two, like, action stuff, I want to do that, and stunts and stuff? Or were you like, I'm gonna forget about the martial arts thing and now and focus on acting?
It's the second
Okay.
because I thought to myself, and I think every Asian martial artist goes through this where they're like, I'm going to be the one that's going to break the stereotypes in Hollywood, and I'm not going to do any martial arts because I want to show them how good of an actor I am or
Yeah.
performer. And, it's just the nature of the beast to you're going to get, you're limiting yourself with less roles because of that mentality, even though it comes from a righteous place.
Yeah.
We all want to be represented by who we are as individuals rather than the stereotypes that have been pressed upon us, no matter what race or, religion, sex, whatever.
Yeah.
Always want to be individuals. And it was a hard transition for me to go, okay, you know what? I just kept training. When I was in college, I was actually training at other places where my friends would go train to learn parkour or tricking, like Jam or Tempest. Tempest.
Okay.
And so when I train at those two different places, a lot of people are like, dang, you're really good at movement, man. Like, have you been a martial artist? I'm like, yeah, I've been doing it my whole life. They're like, why don't you do stunts? And I'm like, well, what's that? And then I started to get involved in that realm of the industry.
Yeah.
And so literally I fell into stunts,
Yeah.
pun intended. So
Yes. That's so cool. What about then, if we talk about pluribus now at first? I
mhm.
keep going calling it pluribus like we would say in Finnish, even though I know
Pluribus.
Americans usually say pluribus.
Yep, yep.
Um, but how did you land this gig? How did that happen?
So I actually got a call from one of my stunt coordinators, who's a good friend of mine, Al Godo. And he was like, hey, dude, do you want to audition for this show? And I was just like, hell yeah, I want to audition. Like you give me, he's always looked out for me and done the best that he has when it comes to trying to provide me with opportunities and work. And
Right.
so I was like, of course, it was just like another audition, just going to it and doing my thing. The irony in this, though, is I actually auditioned for Pluribus a week before that as a background in the hospital scene, and I didn't get accepted. And I was just like, okay, well, your loss.
Yeah.
Then next thing I know, Al Godo hits me up, hey, I got this show. And I was like, okay, yeah, let me see it. And casting absolutely loved me.
Yeah.
So it's really fun to step into that same room again for a rehearsal where they're like, we didn't accept you. I was like, yeah, I know you didn't, but guess who did? Casting in the stunt coordinator.
Yeah. Yeah. So you would have been in the same scene, but just not
Background.
Dr. Nguyen, just someone else in the background.
Yep.
And when he was saying that, hey, I have this gig, did you know what the show was? Did you know about that it was Vince or that it was Apple or anything?
Um, The thing about that was we shot it last year, so I didn't know anything.
Right.
We didn't have the deal with Apple because they were going back and forth with Time Warner Cable, I think. And Apple just wanted to pay more, so they went with them.
Fair.
And I ended up seeing some people that I knew, like Trina. Trini, she's so amazing. She's one of the showrunners and producers.
Yes.
And I actually knew her before she like became this really big producer. So she saw me, she's like, hey, how you doing? I was like, oh, it's so good to see you. Because I've worked with her on previous projects before.
Yeah.
And we had no idea that it was going to be this type of a show. I actually didn't even audition for the doctor. I auditioned for a waiter.
Oh,
And it was really interesting because all of my stud friends and coworkers, they all played the waiter the same way, which was they hated their job. They didn't like what they were doing. They were just like, okay, I'm here at the job. And then when they transitioned into the hive mindset, then it's like, okay, now they're like the Terminator and they're going to go off and kill someone, right?
sure.
Whereas myself, I saw some of that and I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it a different spin. I'm going to be one of those happy go lucky waiters who's trying to do his best, really be positive, and that's just who I am. I'm over optimistic.
Yeah,
as what people like to say sometimes, where I'm just like, well, I'd rather be overly happy than overly sad, right?
that's right.
So I just did it as if I was a young kid trying to make his way, working his way up as a waiter to be a line chef and, giving everybody as great customer service that I can. So then when the transition happens of the hive mind, I'm a Terminator. I'm like the Terminator where it's stone cold killer face. The transition is really huge because now you're like, oh, this kid is so cool, and maybe we'll get to see more of him, and he's so happy. And then all of a sudden, just stone cold killer, where
Yeah,
it's like, oh, something's not right. Something has
yeah.
changed in him.
Hmm.
And that was a big win on my part, I think, on how they wanted to decide it, or I think that's what was contribution as to why they wanted to select me for the role.
Yeah, yeah. So you thought you're gonna go for the waiter, and how do you find out that it's a doctor in the hospital and the scene is something completely different?
Al ended up giving me the call, and I was actually in California doing some live wushu performances. And he's like, "Hey, I just want to let you know you got the role." I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, dude. Just to let you know, you're not gonna be the waiter anymore. You're gonna be Doctor Nguyen." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool.
Sure.
Character name, yeah." And he's like, "Oh yeah, and one more thing. You're gonna be kissing Reese Seahorn." I'm like, "What? I'm gonna kiss. I'm gonna really kiss her? Are you serious?" And he's like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, well, we'll talk about it more. We'll have the producers hit you up. The intimacy coordinator is going to talk to you. We're going to get everything situated." And I'm like, "When are the shoot dates?" And he's like, "We're doing a shoot in March." I'm like, "Perfect." Because the end of the Wushu performances were at the end of February. So it was
Oh,
perfect timing of like back to back bookings on things.
yeah, so good. That's so nice. So how does the process go from there? Do you just show up on set? Or do you get, like you said that you didn't know anything beforehand, but do you have some kind of, do you get any kind of script or any kind of sides or any kind of anything? Like how do you prepare or do you just go in cold?
So they gave me the sides for the scenes that I was in. I didn't
Yeah.
get the whole
Okay.
script though. And I know the reason why they wanted to do that was to keep secrecy as much as possible. They didn't
Yeah.
want anything to be leaked out. And it's just protocol. So for myself, I had the scenes and I'm reading over my scenes that I'm in, and I'm like, okay, okay, cool. So then I just am playing the scenes for what I have, not knowing anything about what happened before, what's going on in the future. I don't know anything about the series itself. I don't
Yeah.
know anything about where Vince's direction is going because he's a genius and he loves, being able to play off of what the actors and performers are giving him. So it always just goes all over the place. And I'm like, okay, well, the scene is set up. Um, the question now is, with this scene that's set up, are we going to be changing anything? And if there are changes, let me know because I'll be more than happy to adapt and be able to provide you with what you're asking for.
Yeah. Then when you get on set, do you run it there? Is that, but you've met Ray before, right? On Better Call Saul.
Mm-hmm.
So this
And
wasn't like a first time meeting, so you don't have to, or I'm sure you like talk to her, but you don't have to like
yeah,
start from the very beginning.
no, no. I mean, it was great to see her again. She's such a lovely person. She's so humble and grateful, and she literally remembers everybody's name, which I'm so jealous of because I'm like, I'm terrible with names,
That's a
and
gift.
I know it totally is. I'm trying to get better at it. But
Yeah.
her and I was just asking her like, hey, what I do whenever I'm in this situation where you're just being here for a guest star, just being here for, a few days if you're lucky. I always want to go off of what the lead actor or actress wants to do.
Yeah.
So I always provide of saying, hey, it's up to you. I'm okay with going in cold if you want to, but if you want to read, the lines together, if you want to rehearse anything, you let me know because I want to be able to work with what works best for you,
Yeah.
being as accommodating as possible. And she was so nice and cool. She was just like, she was reading over our scene because we were in the same makeup trailer and like we were getting hair and makeup done. And she was just like, I think we're going to be okay. Like, it's gonna be cool. I'm like, all right, awesome.
Yeah.
And then what I did, I made sure I go, oh, just FYI, I know I have to kiss you. It's nothing really romantic or anything, but I brought my entire kit with me. I have my mouthwash, my toothpaste, my floss, my tongue scraper. Like I'm doing everything. She's just like, oh yeah. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and have lunch and I'm gonna have like red onions and I'm gonna have sauerkraut and kimchi. And she's just making this whole big joke. And she's really amazing.
Oh, it's so funny. Yeah. How long were you there then? How long? Because I've heard that the night shoots were like took a long time, but how long were the scenes that you were in? How long were you there for?
So altogether, I had 2 days, I think maybe three, because technically we went from one day to the next day, but it still counts as one day because it's one full work day.
Yeah.
So I had 2 days. I had rehearsals with the rest of the background. That way we could all be in synchronization with what we're doing and
Yeah.
how the scene is being set up. And then I had the shoot day was a night shoot, so that my call time I believe was 5 p.m. and we didn't finish until 5 a.m., 6 a.m. when break of dawn started to come up.
Yeah. Like we need to wrap this up. Sun is coming
Mm-hmm.
up.
We're losing night.
Yeah.
So
That's crazy. What were the rehearsal or what was the rehearsal like with the background people about the movement and everything? Like what happens in that rehearsal?
we had rented out, or they rented out a dance studio space, so we'd have enough room to showcase everything.
Yeah.
And what we did was we had everyone set up for how the scene would be. So we had all the blocking set up already of these chairs are going to be here. There's going to be people over here. This is where the desk is, where we'll have another performer be, where they can be talking to the nurses.
Yeah.
We had it all set up as best as possible, and it was always changed on the day. But when we were there, we had a different layout than what was originally, or we had the original layout was different than what you saw for the final shots.
Okay.
And the rehearsal process was you guys are not having a crazy seizure. You're just being I forgot the words that they used to do this. It was as a dancer because I used to dance too. It was more so of like the compulsating and ticking aspect. I'm not sure if you're familiar with ticking,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
but it was really like trying to hold as much as possible for those moments to really like showcase what we are like trying to do and just like
Yeah.
within the body, but
Yes.
then also like having that control of it's happening so much that it's like a baby seizure, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks so cool. I was watching it over and over again like these last couple days just that scene because I think the shaking part is so like unsettling to watch because
Hmm.
I think it would be maybe even easier to watch it if everyone was like full on,
Going
spasming.
crazy. Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's even creepier the fact that it's like almost still, but still everyone is moving the same amount. So
Yes.
um, yeah, it looked very, very, very cool.
It's like when I rewatched it, I'm just like, man, he has Vince Gilligan is so great and so versatile that it was so creepy to watch. And like my eyes staying open for every shot is even more like intense of there's nobody there,
Yeah,
right? Like the eyes are telling everything, but there's literally nobody there. And it was really fun doing the scene because I'm just like, whew, in between takes, I'm like, okay, let me know when you guys are ready. Okay, cool. And then keeping my lock and gaze on her.
yeah, true. That would maybe be even the harder part. The eyes open the whole time. You can't blink at all.
While still shaking and moving and
Yeah,
being very subtle. Because I remember when I first started to do it, I was a little too big, and they're like, "No, just dial it back, okay?" And dial it back and dial it back, and I'd rather have it be too big and then I can dial back rather than it be so small and then ramp it up. I mean, I can do either or,
yeah,
but I always like to provide that to show range.
yeah. It's nicer to give more and then, yeah. go back from there. What were you in your head doing if you didn't know what was happening? You didn't know what the script is. You didn't know like what this is. When you're doing the scene, are you like are you thinking like what the hell am I doing? Or are you like this is so cool. I can't wait to see what this is? Or like what do you picture that Did you have theories or did you just go like now we're
Um,
shaking, now we're kissing, now we're going home?
okay, so it all varies, right? So
Yeah.
in the hospital scene, it's like, okay, I'm doing my work. I have to have this blank expression. So in my mind, when I'm first on set, in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, I'm here. This is so much fun. I love doing what I do. And this is like the life I want to just be doing 24/7. And
Yes.
once those highs start to subsidize, and I'm just like, okay, calm down, relax, you're professional. And then when I'm on set, it's almost like I'm about to get into a fight where I get nervous and I'm excited and I'm like, oh yeah, like I got the jitters. I'm like, okay, cool. I know I'm in the zone. I'm ready. I prepared enough for this.
Yeah.
And then when I'm in the scene itself and going in between takes, it's like, okay, game time. It's like I turn the switch like Kobe Bryant used to do all the time, where he would literally say before like 2 to 3 hours before game time, he'd flip a switch and pretend that he's like Michael Myers, where he wants to annihilate everybody. And he's like, don't talk to me. Don't get in my way. I'm in my zone. I'm focusing in. I'm playing out every scenario that I can do. I've been working on, my different combos, jab, step, turn, spin, fade away, like all those different aspects is what I do, but as an actor or stunt performer of like, okay, here's what the scene's going to be. This is where they want me to be for my mark. And then when I hit all of those, then when the camera's rolling and the scene is going, I just stay in the present moment.
Yeah.
So in the present moment, my mind and my body is literally like, I don't know what's happening and I can't move and I'm blank because I can't show any emotion on my face.
Yeah.
And then when it got to the scene of when we all walked outside and then I ended up kissing Ree, it was one of those things of when I turned my face, I noticed that she's not part of the hive mind. So I'm a little confused of like, well, why are you feeling the bliss and happiness that I'm feeling right now?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, let me solve that problem for you. Let me help you out. And then that's what causes me to kiss her. And she pushes away. And then before, she takes off, we all have that line of, we just want to help you, Carol. And
Yeah.
so it's so freaky of
Uh,
I'd have the exact same response as Carol of like just driving off of like, this is totally effed.
yes.
And
What the hell is wrong with you people?
that's the process that I go through. And I
Yeah.
just get all excited and giddy. And I just try to stay in the moment with them and try to give them as much as possible of I'm trying to help you out right now,
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
least in that scene.
Yeah. Were all the other like the background people, is everyone like some level of um stunt performer, dancer, something like that? Or were there also like just like random people, actors or whatever?
It was a variation,
Yeah.
honestly. So a lot of them were dancers, which is great.
Yeah.
Uh, some of them were trying to break into the stunt industry, trying to break into the stunt realm. Some of them were actors. Some of them were trying to break into acting, and some of them were just there having a good time, and they could just move their bodies really well. And
Yeah.
this is a new experience. I've never done this before. Yay! And I'm like, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, because it like I said, it was so synced. And I would think that even though it looks easy, but to have so many people, because there were so many of you in that lobby,
Yeah.
like that it looks synced,
Mhm.
that is not easy. So that's why I'm like, is that like a lot of dancers or are they
Yeah.
just lucky?
A lot of people who were just great at movement,
Yeah.
and I feel that with all of us combined, we had the countdown. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Everyone begin shaking. And if anyone was kind of offbeat, or if anybody was moving too much or too fast, they would literally go change them before they would say action for the scene to make sure that everybody was good to go.
Okay.
There was a lot of due diligence of someone's going a little too much, right? Instead of it
Yeah.
being just like very small like that,
Yeah.
they would let them know and go, hey, cameras on you, we got to make sure that you are in sync with everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. When they have a different camera angle where we can't see your face, do you have your eyes open the whole time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I want to give everything that I can to my actress or my
Yes.
actor that I'm performing with, and so it doesn't do them a justice if I'm not giving them everything that I can in that moment.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. It's yeah, the whole scene is so because I like that's the first time that Carol meets the hive.
Yeah,
You're the
yeah.
first person who she I mean us when we watch the show we have seen the like how it all started from the lab
Mhm.
with the whatever with all the kissing.
Don't eat the
But
donuts.
yeah, exactly. Too much.
Hmm. Hmm.
But you're the first one that Carol meets. I feel like it's such an or it is such an epic moment, then especially I would assume, or maybe that's a question too, how epic was it in the moment? And how epic was it then to see it and he like with the music and with everything, on top of it that you're like, whoa, that's me.
Well, honestly, again, I didn't know anything about the story.
Yeah.
So I didn't think that it was going to be this big epic moment
Yeah.
because I'm just like, hey, I
Fair.
just booked another role. Cool. The only thing that I did know, I was like, oh, I'm going to be kissing the main actress, and this is pivotal to the plot movement and plot and making the plot move forward. So
Okay.
I was like, the only thing in my head that I was thinking at the time was they cannot cut my scene because I've had it happen so many times where I book a role and I have a lot of lines or I have some lines and I'm like, hey, everybody, come check me out, watch this. And then they watch it and then everything's been cut and I'm like, okay, I look like I'm doing extra work right now. Great.
Yeah.
Thanks. But with this one, it was like, okay, they cannot cut my scene because they literally need to tell this part of the story to let everyone know that our main protagonist, Carol, is immune to it. So I was like, yes, they can't cut it. And it was a huge surprise to me when I saw that they were using my photo and using it for everything for the promotion.
Everything.
Like that was the biggest surprise for me, where I was just so like grateful and humble of like, sweet, this was so awesome. People that I know, because I'm worldwide, so I know a lot of people from different places. Like my
Yeah.
friends in China were hitting me up, in Russia, in Australia, in Ireland, in Canada, in Mexico. Like everybody was hitting me up saying, dude, this is you, oh my god. I'm like, I appreciate all the love. And
Yes.
when I saw it for the first time with the music and the lighting, I was like, this is up. Like, this is freaky. This is like so scary.
Yes.
But what was crazy is Vince always said to all of us that we're not like these zombies that are trying to take over the world, like invasions of the body snatchers, like trying to kill
Yeah.
everybody. He was like, you guys are just all happy go lucky people that just want to help them out. You just all have the same hive mind. And so immediately when I thought of that, I thought of Rick and Morty, especially with the episode where Rick falls in love with, oh my gosh, I forget the character's name. Um, but she did the hive mind on everybody, and
Right.
Unity was her name.
Yeah, yeah.
And
There we go.
so it was so amazing to see that, because I understood that dynamic of the hive mind because of Rick and Morty, of that episode with Unity and Rick.
Yeah.
Like, they're not
I know what
evil,
this
they're just
is.
trying to help out everybody. And it was funny, especially in that episode of Rick and Morty, where they start to like reject Unity, and then you get to see how crazy those individuals were, where they're like, well, I used to be a serial rapist and this and that, and now I'm a doctor who takes care of everybody. And then like the other aliens like, yeah, and then I used to be a prostitute, but now I'm the one that gives, I've cured AIDS and this and that. And
Yeah.
so it was literally, even though the hive mind took away free choice, it provided a better solution for that entire community. And so that's the big dynamic, right? In Pluribus is, do we give up free will, or for the better of community and better of society, or do
Yep.
we fight against that because we have free will? Like you can't be happy every single day, even though I try to be, right?
Yeah.
So it's one of those things of what do you decide? What do you think?
Hmm. Yeah, it is true. It's such a deep, deep show. And I love the turn that it took after the first episode, where especially until your scene, where it's
Mm-hmm.
all just like going down, and I'm like, what is happening? Like
Mm-hmm.
everyone's gonna die or something,
Chaos on world on Earth. Yeah.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden it takes this turn of like it becomes so much more psychological, like they've said in many interviews and stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
like the threat is not, I think Vince has said it, that the threat is not physical. It's like in the first episode it feels physical
Yes.
and then it becomes psychological. I think that's so
Absolutely.
cool, the turn that it took after that. Because the
Mm-hmm.
first episode is so epic,
Yeah.
uh that I'm
It's
like,
like
where is this gonna go?
huh, what? Yeah.
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 And then like as you continue to watch the season, I don't want to give any spoilers to any of your fans that, may have not seen everything. It just
Yeah.
is really the mental game. You know what I mean? The psychological plays, like what is your intention? Why are you doing this? What's the
Yeah.
point? You say it's to help everybody, but is it?
Is it
It's
really?
one of those, it makes you question everything. And I think that's what's really amazing about this show in general is it forces you to question things. And
Yep.
for me, I always love to question because regardless of what it is, whether it's a religion, whether it's your politics, whether it's, what you believe in, your pros and cons, whatever it is, I always
Mhm.
love to question everything because there's always, you can always uncover more when you question more,
Yes.
whether it's good or bad.
Yeah. Yeah. And it has been very cool to see a lot of fans who have watched the show, like in my comments too, and then in other like Twitter and wherever people are talking about it a lot. Not
Mm-hmm.
just like,
Mm-hmm.
or of course there's those two who are like, Carol is annoying, and that's it. That there's no like
You're always going
nothing
to have
happening.
haters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like there's just no, processing of the what is actually going on. But it has been very nice to see so many people go like really into it, really
Mm-hmm.
like, and
Mm-hmm.
going through both like, but also this, and like talking it all through. It's very cool.
It really opens up your mind, in my opinion, to look at everyone's point of view and
Yeah.
see what their perspective is. And that's the one thing that I love about acting is regardless of whatever character you're playing on screen, you have to see it through their lens, right? With
Yep.
no, at least in my opinion, if you're a good actor, no judgment on what this person is going through. Because a true evil genius doesn't think that they're evil and they
Yeah.
don't think that they're doing bad things. They're trying to help society, right? Um, and because of that, it really makes you look at different perspectives. And that's what I love about acting as well, is that you can see why this person has become this way.
Yeah.
You can start to relate to them in other ways where it's like, I'm not a serial killer at all, but I could
Yeah.
relate to them based off of how their trauma was growing up, what their backstory is, figuring out what makes them tick and why that makes them tick,
Yeah.
and going into deeper details, right? Like all of us can say we can't kill anybody, right? But we kill a mosquito every day when it tries to bite us. So, it's a far, far stretch, definitely.
Yeah.
However, there is that still relatability of we've been able to kill a mosquito. Okay, if this character is what you're playing, why are they justified in being like, Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Hmm. It's so true. It's so true. And I love the show for it, that we
Mhm.
go into it with Carol as well quite a lot.
Yeah,
Like, why is she the way she is?
yeah, yeah,
I think quite slowly, which is nice that we're like, you know, taking our time.
definitely.
I assume that you have watched the entire show, not just the pilot. And I assume that you did enjoy it. Well, maybe did you enjoy it? And what particularly did you enjoy? What were moments that stand out to you from the great first season that they show?
Yeah. I mean, obviously I wanted to be in more episodes than just one. So
Yeah.
I wanted to come back so bad. Um,
Do
I
you think it's
guess
possible that you will? Like,
I don't
I mean,
know.
I guess anything is possible, but
Anything is possible. And I don't know. I mean, um, I'll tell you a side story once I answer your questions.
yeah.
I really enjoyed the because I don't want to give out like any spoilers, you know what I mean?
I
So
think
I'm
it's
trying to
okay. I
like,
understand, but I would like to think that anyone watching this has watched the show.
yeah, I'm always so cautious with that. I mean,
I
I mean
understand.
for myself, I really enjoyed that there's more than just one person who's immune. Um,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know,
true.
okay, spoiler alert, sorry people. I really enjoyed that they've been trying to come up with their own version of a democracy to figure out what they can do and how they can, figure out how they can, do other things. There's other things I want to say, but I'm like, again, I'm trying not to do too many spoilers. I really enjoyed character interaction and the world building, but Vince Gilligan is always so great at that of the different power dynamics that other characters have with against each other. The other, um, like I said, the world building that he does is so phenomenal. And so, and the side story or side story I wanted to tell you was I was talking to Reese Seahorn a lot during our rehearsal process and when
Yeah.
we were filming together, and she was like, "Hey, can you like help me pronounce this name? Is it Dr. Negwan and Dr. Nguyen?" And I'm like, "It's probably Dr. Nguyen because it's Vietnamese." And she's like, "Oh, okay, cool, cool." And she's like, "Hey, do you ever get where like people assume that you're a different Asian than what you are? Like, I'm not trying to offend you or anything." And I was like, "No, no, no." I'm like, honestly, Ray, I will play whatever Asian they want me to play. Just hire me. I don't care if I got to be Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Vietnamese, Thai. Just hire me. And she started laughing and had some good jokes. And she's like, "Yeah, a lot of my friends that are Asian, they say the exact same thing as you did, where there's a lot of you know, it's harder to find opportunities and it's harder to get those opportunities when the jobs are not being provided." And so
Sure.
that's why I'm a big supporter of making your own content, making your own things, and being as creative as possible because then we end up getting original and great material such as Stranger Things, Rick and Morty. These are things that go against the norm, even though
Yeah.
there's similarities in them with everything, right? Because of, what we've been brought up with, what we know.
Yeah.
But it's really great to see that because as much as Hollywood loves to claim that they're doing this and doing that, all especially recently because of AI and other things, political wise, they always like to just do reboots because there's already a fan base.
Sure.
They like to do things that are already have an establishment. Um, but the originality and the creativity is coming from us creators,
Yeah.
us artists that are, still trying to have those big wins because even though I've been acting now for 22 years and stunts now for 16, and I still haven't been on set for over a month.
Mm, that's
So
crazy.
I know, right? And so when I hear some of my other friends that are in stunts or in acting and they're complaining about, "Oh, I'm working 6 months, I'm working 3 months," I'm just like, do you understand
Do
how
it.
much 1 month would change my entire life because of how great I am when it comes to financial spending and saving and investing? Like,
Sure.
it drives me nuts when I hear them say this because I'm just like, I'll take your job every day. Give it to
Yeah.
me then. If you want to keep complaining, you want to keep, just acting all uppity about this, then
Yeah.
give me work because I will do it 1,000 times over.
Yeah.
And um, it just drives me insane when I hear all that because I'm like, 6 months of work. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, legitimately game changing. Um, and with all the things that I do, I have so many embers on the fire. Like this year is going to be insane. Like I literally have 6 to 9 different feature films, 2 TV shows, a vertical short series. I'm creating my own video games for the mobile platforms. Like
Whoa.
I work so hard on this career because this is what I love, that I don't allow anything to get in the way. Like I don't have a wife, I don't have kids. I've literally sacrificed this so much because I want this so bad.
Yeah.
And so like I've written my own feature films. I actually wrote another feature film that I may or may not be in a trouble for because I'm trying to get it made, which is Rush Hour 4. Like, because I
Oh,
worked with Jackie Chan's stunt team and I
yes.
met Jackie and I had dinner with him, Jackie in all of his interviews online is always saying he's waiting for the writers to write it. He's waiting for something. It's been the past 20 years since they've been trying to get this film made. And I forget that Jackie doesn't have any of the intellectual property rights of Rush Hour. It's either, and I have to look further into it, whether it's Warner Brothers, New Line Cinema, or Brett Ratner. If Warner Brothers owns some of the rights, or New Line Cinema owns some of the rights, then I have other connections with Warner Brothers that I can address them to be like, hey, I wrote Rush Hour 4. When can we get this movie made? Because we need to have another one with Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan. And
Yeah.
so I work so diligently. Like my work schedule is literally like get up in the morning, go to the gym. Right from the gym, I'm taking care of my 9 to 5 jobs, which is taking care of patients with physical therapy, teaching
Okay.
kids martial arts, teaching adults martial arts, and then depending on what day it is, I'm either teaching improv, training in improv, teaching fitness lessons to my Chinese instructor or to any of my other clients that I have. So that way, with my Chinese instructor in particular, I'm trying to get better and learn Mandarin Chinese. So we trade lessons for that. And then when I get home, I'm either editing or script writing and then wake up and do it all over again. So when people try to come at me and say these other issues of just being a hater, I'm like, you guys have no idea how hard I work on this. You have no idea how much passion and how much I love what I do.
Yeah.
And it's just like legitimately a matter of time before things start to blow up like crazy for me
Yeah.
because um a few months before Pluribus came out, because Pluribus came out in November. In
Yeah.
October, I went to the Arizona Sholo Film Festival, and my short that I did in Beijing, China for the Jackie Chan stunt team, I did one more edit to it, and I entered it into the Arizona Sholo Film Festival, where I won Best Stunts, Best Martial Arts for that short film. And then
That's awesome.
thank you. Thank you. I've been cultivating a business relationship with a man named Pete Wooster, who he is co-founder of Sunset Pictures. Last year when I met, or now 2 years ago, sorry, 2 years ago when I met
Yeah.
him, he only gave me his email and I already pitched my films to him. And so when I saw him last year, he immediately gave me his cell phone number. And when I was there, he was introducing me to everybody on the team, the CEOs, the creatives, everybody that he could introduce me to. And this is something I haven't shared publicly yet.
Yeah.
But he made an announcement at the Arizona Sholo Film Festival where basically I have full backing from him. So now I have Sunset Pictures that are fully backing me. And this is exclusive for you, Tia.
Let's
They want
go.
to they want to turn me into their next action star, and I have a
Let's
video to
go.
show everybody what is going to be happening. It's a 2 minute beautiful video that he made an announcement to everybody there at the Arizona Sholo Film Festival during the awards ceremony. And I'm not going to release that video until I'm already famous. I can say this is one of the turning points that happened. I
Yeah,
also
true.
had articles written about me with Pete Wooster. And I haven't released that either because, again, I'm letting people know what they can see, what they can't see yet on my social media.
Yeah.
So this is the first time that I've actually said it publicly.
Yes.
And
I love it.
this year is going to be so insane because I have so many things in the fire. You know, I have so many embers that are cooking right now
Yes.
that I'm literally like in the next 2 to 3 years, you're literally going to see me everywhere because
That's so
I've
awesome.
been going so hard at this, and this is all I'm focusing on right now.
Good for you. That's so cool.
Thank you.
Was Pluribus like kind of the first thing out of all of these? Like that was the first one to come out, or was there like had did this wave already start and Pluribus is just in there?
When I had received this high praise from the Jackie Chan stunt team, that I'm like, I'm getting the best praise from the best stunt team in the world. This year, they're turning 50 years old. So I'm really hoping I get a chance to go and train with them again this year.
Yes.
Um, but that was the turning point for me. And I used all that motivation and all that great movement and momentum to go forward because last year, the last film job that I did that I was getting paid on was in February. So all throughout
Right.
that entire time, I didn't work in any film and TV. From February on, I did a short, and then I just did a lot of training because the short I didn't get paid for, the chosen few, and then I did a lot of training with the JC Stunt team, and then I took that momentum to bring me to the Arizona Sholo Film Festival, and then if I didn't go there, I would have never made those connections with Pete and Martine,
Yeah.
and would have never had their backing now. And then from there, and it was so beautiful. I've never worked with Pete, but he was just like, there's no doubt in my mind, Hollywood needs this star talking about me. And he said, there's no doubt in my mind, you're going to see this young man everywhere. And then
Mhm.
literally the next month, Pluribus comes out, and I'm the poster child for Pluribus.
You're everywhere.
So I'm just like, okay, this is all the momentum that I need to stay
Yeah.
focused, stay trained, stay diligent. And I'm literally going to be taking all that momentum into this year. So I'm literally waiting to hear back because all the projects that I have that I'm getting ready for are either projects that I've written, projects that my friends want me to be the lead for, or projects that they already have set in stone where now it's just we have to get funding. And
Yeah.
that's always this thing is trying to get funding for all of these. So,
Yeah.
mhm.
But that's so cool. So, so cool. I can't wait.
Yeah, yeah.
See you
People are gonna
everywhere.
watch this back and be like, "What?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've talked to that guy. Can we talk about the Jackie Chan thing? Like, how did that happen? How did you get in the training camps,
So
would it be?
yeah, yeah, it's a
Oh,
film camp that
yeah.
they host every year. They this is last year was their third year doing it, and
Okay.
so 2 years ago when I got accepted, I was just absolutely mind blown of like I can't believe this. I'm super excited. I never thought that I'd have the capability to train and be that good enough to go train with the JC stunt team.
Yeah.
So when I went there, it was so beautiful in Beijing, China. I mean, I know China gets a bad rep on a lot of different things politically. However, when it came to who I dealt with there personally and the Jackie Chan stunt team, it was nothing but love. It was all amazing. Um, it was just phenomenal being over there. I mean, the training is very, very hard, and there's so much that you have to do. I mean, our daily schedule is literally get up at 7 in the morning, get a quick bite to eat. You have to walk yourself to the training facility by 8 a.m. You train from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Then you walk back to the hotel, take a quick shower, and then you have to edit all the things that you filmed for that day and turn it in before midnight. So then that way you can get graded to do it again the next day. And it's those type of things that I just absolutely love where I'm like a kid in a candy store where I'm like,
Yeah.
yes, I want more training. Yes, I want to learn from you guys. And the stuff that I learned was just mind blowing. It was so, so amazing. And, big shout outs to the Jackie Chan stunt team, Shifu Ho Jun, who's our main instructor there on the Chinese side. Big shout outs to K Star. They are the ones that have built this bridge for us to train. And, Philip Sahagun, big thanks to him as well. He's phenomenal in every which way, as well as his son. His son is so cool and just insane and super, super talented, like his father.
Yeah.
Um, it was just an amazing experience that it's one for the books that it's like, yeah, I've built up such a big network because of that. And then when I got accepted to go again last year was again another phenomenal experience. And it was even better because the first year I went, I injured my ankle. I was overweight a little bit. And I was like, okay, next year I'm going to literally prove to them how much I've improved. And this last year, I definitely made an impression and a lasting one of showing them this is what I'm fully capable of, especially getting so much high praise from them, which was like, I'm literally bawling my eyes out.
Yeah.
And last year, we had the amazing opportunity to meet Jackie Chan himself and get photos with him. We had dinner with him, which was insane. And like everything that you hear about this man in terms of how kind and humble and nice is all true. For an
Yeah.
example, when we got there, he gave us all, or the when we first saw him the first day, I'm literally bawling my eyes out because I can't believe I just met my childhood hero.
Yes.
Um, and a few days later, we all get 1,000 RMB Chinese money, which is like $140 USD, because he knows how hard it is to make it in this industry. And he wanted to make sure that we all had spending money. It's like, who does that, right?
Uh,
And something that I haven't posted up yet, which is just phenomenal, is I literally have it written and I have it up on my wall where I see it every day in a frame of this is my first payment from Jackie Chan.
yes, let's go.
Yeah. And then a few days later, he ended up giving us all Chinese medicine to make sure that we were all good to go before we do our finals. And so that was another big win for us of like, he's giving us all these amazing gifts and praise. And at the end, we all ended up getting a custom made Jackie Chan stunt team bag that you can't buy anywhere in the world unless you're a part of the Jackie Chan stunt team or you went to this camp this past year.
Yeah.
So just getting all of that was just icing on the cake
Yeah.
of, okay, cool. I'm literally taking all this momentum and we're gonna go to the moon and back. So,
Yes.
or to the moon and beyond, I should say, because there's just so many wonderful things that are transpiring and I'm getting ready for and prepping for. So,
I love that. Thinking of other questions about the stunts, there was a couple nice ones from other fans who were sending in questions. Oh, this I like this one. What does the martial arts training mean to you personally? How has the training affected your daily life?
ooh, that's a really good question. And for me, it has because a lot of people in the MMA world that just like to fight only try to figure out the best moves for who they're going to be fighting against. But you're missing out on the philosophy of martial arts when you just focus on the combat aspect. And true traditional martial artists, and there are a lot that are in the MMA as well, they literally have a full embodiment of the philosophy behind martial arts, which Jackie says it best, kung fu is everything. Meaning
Yeah.
whatever you do in your life, you're building up discipline. This is why we hold horse stance. It's not like you're going to use a horse stance in an actual fight. No, it's for the discipline. It's for building up the muscles. It's for really training the mind to let yourself know that you're going to be okay. And whenever I hear kung fu is everything, it literally is, because how you treat people, how you interact with the world. Another thing that I really dislike nowadays is that people don't like to call their instructors shifus or sensei or anything like that because it's been translated into bowing down to master, right?
Mhm.
However, now the phrase that everyone likes to use is coach. And I hate that phrase because anyone could be a coach, but
Yeah.
it takes years, even decades to become a sensei, a shifu, a sifu, a master. And the reason, and Philip, no, I'm sorry, Simon Rhee actually gave the best explanation of we are teaching you combative art that will feed your ego to constantly make you feel like you're better and better and better and you can take on the world. When you bow down to someone who is higher than you in rank and knows more skill sets than you are humbling yourself. And that's why we call these people shifus and masters and sensei. It's not in terms of like slave and master.
Yeah.
It's in terms of this is my this is my higher rank.
Yeah.
These are the people that I looked up to. These are my big brothers and big sisters. So I love calling all of my people Shifu, Sensei, because I have so much respect for them, because
Hmm.
they're training me and constantly teaching me. So I use that in everyday life of how can I be a better person every day? How can I continuously get better and still be present for everyone as well. It's a really dynamic philosophy, and I love the yin yang because it's a perfect explanation and symbolism of life. There's dark and lightness, and within both of them is a little bit of both. And so you can't have one without the other. And there's duality in life, and there's so many things that you can do to either help yourself, help others, and vice versa. So with martial arts and the training that I've done, I always try to see the good in everybody. I always try to see the light in everybody. And I try to understand what their perspective is, regardless if I agree with it or disagree with it.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's very nice. I was hoping the answer would be something like that because I like the question and I was like, oh, this could be great.
Yeah, totally, totally.
Uh, so nice. Yeah, I love the respect, like the culture of respect, which I think in a lot of Asian countries is very different to um like rest of the world. I think it's so cool to see in different medias where I would see it. I'm always like, that's so awesome. Like it's so cool and we're really like really behind on that. Or we think we're ahead of that, but we're not.
And don't get me wrong, it's I mean nobody is immune to the human experience, right? So even the people who are super respectful, sometimes it can be taken overboard, and
Yeah,
sometimes
sure.
your peers expect that and will look down upon you if you're not giving them the high praise of consistently giving them high praise, right?
Yeah,
Um, but for the most part, it's a beautiful way to live because you can constantly you're going to attract more flies with honey than with vinegar.
that's it. That's so good. Um, what about stunts then more specifically? Can you name a like a favorite one or like the one that you have done yourself that you're the most proud of that you're like, yes, I nailed that and like it looks good and whatever that you professionally are the proudest of.
So I have two of them.
Right.
For training purposes, I ended up pulling off a gainer and landing on my back on a 20-foot fall into a air mattress, which was so much fun. And
Sounds
you
fun.
can see that, yeah, it was so much fun, and it just looks so beautifully done. I executed it so well, landed it perfectly on my back. So that's my proudest training moment. My proudest on set moment of pulling off a stunt was definitely having a high speed car chase with the police, and I'm shooting a 9 millimeter gun at the police hanging out the window. So my stunt coordinator, Jeff Cariente, who's an amazing guy, he actually used to stunt double for Brandon Lee way back in the day.
Okay.
And he was really good friends with Brandon Lee.
Nice.
And he was the driver of the scene, and he's weaving in and out of traffic, and I'm hanging out the window, bomb, 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 shooting at the cops that are chasing us.
Oh, that's so cool. Where is that in? Which one?
That's in Deputy. That's
Okay.
on the Fox TV show Deputy.
Nice. Oh, so cool. Um, I would assume that like stunt performers always have, no matter how many cool things you've done, you always have the like the next things, the next like crazier thing and whatever.
Mhm.
What are your dreams for like stunts that you would like to master, you would like to perform or learn?
I'd love to do more wire work.
Yeah,
And there's actually, I don't know what it's called, but there is this really cool new wire work system where it looks like, oh my gosh, how can I even explain it? Okay, basically think of a long gimbal or a long like pipe, right? And at
right.
the end of the pipe, it has this circle, and that circle encompasses your entire waist. So you can literally do as many spins as you want. And when I'm watching this, I'm like, because one of the goals that I have is I'd love to be the guy that has taken all of my favorite anime shows and anime in general and being the pioneer to turn them into real life action films where people are
Nice.
blown away. And that machine itself is one of those machines that I know I could pull off so well, and it would be an amazing Dragon Ball Z fight where we have Goku and Vegeta going against each other, and then all of a sudden, boom, and then spinning out of the way, and then boom, and then we could see the camera movement come around to go zoom, and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden do a nice close up into the face to go, okay, round two, and then boom, going off camera. And this machine is so beautiful. I don't even know what it's called. I got to do more research on it. And you
Sounds great.
literally can do so much with that, that when I was watching some of the performers on it, I'm just like, whoa, I would love to have that and love to play around and just like figure out what the best camera angles are going to be. And it's just so amazing to me and how it looks and what it feels like. Um,
Yeah.
and eventually, when I get to that point and I purchase one of them, I would definitely see if I can get it all painted in green. So then that way, when we do any green screen stuff, it will literally be easy to
Yeah,
match
perfect.
out, and then it looks like it's just the people doing the fight scene and doing everything,
Yeah.
because make it look so effortlessly as if you're like in a Naruto fight scene or a Bleach fight scene or a My Hero Academia or Demon Slayer.
Yes.
So yeah,
That's cool. That's a great idea too, like live action anime. Is
yeah,
that
it's the next market because
yeah.
I had to explain this to Sunset Pictures. I go, you guys remember the Bruce Springsteen movie? They're like, yeah, yeah. I go, do you know how much money it took to make that film? And they're like, no. I was like, it took $55 million to make that film. Do you know how much money it made? They go, no. I go, $33 million. So it's a flop by $22 million or 23, give or take, right?
Yeah.
I go, are you guys familiar with the anime show called Demon Slayer? They go, nope, never even heard of it. I go, okay. Do you know how much money the recent movie Infinity Castle made? They go, no. I go, $600 million.
Yeah.
So there's a market, and Disney and Sony are already trying to buy up as much anime IP as possible because they see that trend too.
That makes sense to me, even the
Hmm.
like just explaining it. Um,
Hmm.
all right. Are there other things, or do you want to plug any of the things that are coming up, or anything else where we can find you now? Pluribus is done, but
Yeah, yeah. I have a couple of films that are coming out. Protector with Mila Kunis, I believe is her last name, Mila Kunis.
hmm.
Um, no, I'm sorry, not Mila Kunis, Mila Djokovic.
Yeah, I'm like,
I
I know Mila Kunis.
Yeah. Mila Djokovic, she's the lead actress who was in the Resident Evil series.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, I have a
Cool.
movie coming out with her that is called Protector. I don't know the release date yet.
Yeah.
You can also check me out in the feature film called The Wrecker that has Harvey Keitel and Tyrese in it, where I get beat up because I'm a stunt guy in that one. And I
Yeah.
also have Coyote versus Acme coming out. So
Okay.
those are the three projects that I have coming out. I'm sorry, is it three? Coyote versus Acme, Protector. Oh, The Wrecker is already out. Sorry. So The Wrecker is already out. So those are the three projects that I have out or that are coming out right now.
Yeah.
And then I have all these other projects that I'm personally working on that I won't call them out yet
Yeah.
because we haven't started filming. The moment
Yeah.
we started to film, or if we were in the editing room, then I would totally be, putting it all out there, but we haven't even started filming yet. So those are still in the works. But
Yeah.
there are so many things that I have that I'm so ambitious and I'm so ready. And actually, it's funny, I may be working on set starting tomorrow through Friday, as well as the following week, for some stunts for a feature film in Las Cruces, New excuse me, Las Cruces, New Mexico. But I still haven't heard back from them yet, and so I'm assuming if I don't hear anything by the end of the day today, then probably not.
Yeah.
But um, it's like that where you have to constantly be putting yourself out there, constantly be dealing with rejection and not caring,
Yeah.
and um, just like, okay, I got to keep it moving because I'm not going to get the opportunities that I really want or that I know I'm capable of unless I provide my own way to make that happen.
Yeah. Yeah. That is crazy that the industry is so it is so like that that you're
Hmm.
like, I don't know if I'm going to work tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah,
We'll see.
exactly. And then if you don't fit, the mold of what Hollywood likes to put out there all the time, then how can you even get the opportunity to do the work?
Yeah.
Because, you know, I always have to explain this with stunts in particular. If I have to go against Chris Hemsworth, or if I have to go against Chris Evans, or if I have to go against Chris Pine or
Any of the
Chris
Chris's.
whomever, exactly, they all look the same to me.
Yes.
I'm joking, but they
Kind of.
all fit that mold, right?
Yeah.
Blonde hair, blue eyes, tall, athletic, and they are all over 6 foot. I'm 5'7", right?
Yeah.
There's no way that you're going to believe that I'm a physical threat to our main protagonist unless I have a superpower.
Yeah.
Because the
True.
suspension of disbelief is not there. No matter how many flips I throw, no matter how more skilled I am as a martial artist or as a physical actor, it's just not believable. So
Yeah.
those are the things that I have to tell people that are, my height and below that are constantly trying to get into stunts. It's like I'm in that weird height range where I'm not short enough to be a kid or a teenager, maybe a teenager now, because I did play a teenager a few years ago on The Really Loud House on Nickelodeon's The Really Loud House,
Yeah.
but I'm not tall enough to be that main threat against the lead actor because most lead actors are 5'9" to 6'2", and
Sure.
sometimes above that.
Yeah.
So there's that other mode where Hollywood doesn't seem or think that you're marketable as a lead actor unless you are within those height parameters.
Yeah.
It's so weird because in the 70s, it used to be all short guys, right? Woody Allen, Al Pacino, Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah.
And then Arnold comes along and they're like, there's no way you're going to fit into Hollywood because you're too big and you're too tall. And then look what happened. Now he's created such a big mold that that's what the industry loves to see now for the lead
Yeah.
actor. So that's why it's like, okay, what do I got to do?
Yeah.
I got to create my own work. I got to create my own opportunities.
Yes.
Because as much as Hollywood likes to try to claim and take all that as their own, they don't know. They
Yeah.
don't have original ideas. They don't have a lot of original anything anymore. They just want
Yeah.
to go where the money is, which makes sense. Um,
Yeah. It's a business, but it's getting boring.
yeah, yeah. Or it's just like, okay, great. What's next? Who else
Hmm.
can I get into this? Right.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that I've always been fighting and will continue to fight because I'm definitely a creative person where I'm like, if the ideas that I was coming up with were not being used or not being seen, or some of the different fight scenes that I've come up with in the past and they've been stolen and they've been used, I'm like, okay, that goes to show me that I belong here. That goes to show me that I know what my worth is. And now I get to a point where I don't care if you steal my idea or my fight scene or whatever, because I'm just going to be more creative and come up with even better stuff than that.
Yeah.
And then once I make those happen, I know what's going to happen. Everyone's going to be knocking on my door going,
Right.
"Oh, we've always been on Team Kevin." And I'm like, "No, you
Really.
haven't." Yeah. And you're like, no, no, I see exactly right through all of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
But now you're doing it yourself, which is so cool and so many projects coming up.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
awesome.
It's
Um,
exciting. Super
yes.
exciting.
This was a great time to talk to you.
Well, I'm not that type that's gonna be able to say, "Oh, well, now you're gonna have to talk to my agent because I'm so busy right now." Like,
Yeah.
I'll literally say, "Hey, Tia, like, I am really busy right now, but here's the time that I have to give because I always love giving back, and I
Yeah.
always love when people believed in me before all the hype."
Yes, of course. Yeah. That's so nice. And this was so nice to hear from you.
Mm.
Because I know Pluribus is probably like it's a very small percentage of the things you've done even this past year.
Yeah,
But then for me, that's where I know your face from. So it's very
yeah,
cool to hear
exactly.
about that experience and then all this other stuff. So thank you so much for doing this. This was awesome.
Thank you so much for having me on board, Tia. I appreciate it, and I'll come back whenever you need me to.
Let's go. All right. See you again, Kevin.
You.
Thank
I'll see
you.
you later, Tia. Take care.
You too.